Hi, my name is Tanner Stratford, and today I'm going to be talking about Arduino chips. And while technically Arduino chips is a product and not a computer science topic, I hope you'll see as I do this presentation how it ties into a lot of really important computer science topics. Alright, so some of you might be wondering what is Arduino. Some of you might have heard of it. According to their website, Arduino designs, manufactures, and supports electronic devices and software, allowing people around the world to easily access advanced technologies that interact with the physical world. Our products are straightforward, simple, and powerful, ready to satisfy users' needs from students to makers and all the way to professional developers. So essentially what they make are these little microchips that you can work with in well, you can do all kinds of projects. Like the project that I'm working on right now is actually a little battery powered car that I'm going to be able to control with my phone over Bluetooth. So it's, yeah, just these little powerful devices, kind of just like these little mini computers that you're able to work with, and it's actually a really cool thing. So right here I have a few pictures of what the Arduino chips look like. So on the very left is the Arduino Uno. I would say that's probably the most popular one, and that's actually how I got introduced to Arduino. My friend showed me the little chip that he had, and that's what got me interested. I just thought it was super cool that you could work with those. And in the middle is the Arduino Mini. That one is also pretty popular, and the one that I've been working with is the ESP32. Uh, that's the one on the right. I really like that one just because it comes with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into it. So basically what I've been able to do is connect my phone to this chip through Bluetooth and send it messages so that I could control the car that I'm working on in my project. So it's been a pretty fun thing. Okay, so how does the Arduino chip work? So right here is a pinout diagram of the ESP32. This was actually super helpful for me during the project that I was working on. I could just see the way that the different little inputs and outputs work. So if you look on the very left on the bottom, not the very left of the entire diagram, but just the chip itself, you'll see the VIN, the VIN pin, and that is where you would hook up the battery. So essentially you have the VIN pin right there and it's right next to ground. So you would hook up the positive terminal of the battery to the VIN and the negative terminal to ground, and that's how you would power the chip right there. For the VIN, I think it's generally recommended that for that pin right there, that you have between 7 and 12 volts. So right now I have a 9-volt battery to power the ESP32, and that's connected to the VIN. You could also power it through lower voltage. So on the other side, you'll see the 3.3 volt in the ground next to that. And, kind of like it says, it takes 3.3 volts. All of the pins up there are for inputs and outputs. So you'll see at the top on the left 9 through 20, and then on the right 36 through 21. So I guess you could think of the chip itself as an input-output device. So it takes in signals, and that's its input, and it outputs signals as ones and zeros for a general use case. Now, there are some cases that you would want to have kind of a variable output, and you can do this with pulse width modulation, the PWM. So as it says there, in basic Arduino chips, there are a few pins that have PWM capabilities. This means you could write to the pin with any value between 0 and 255. But with the ESP32 that I'm using for my project, luckily all of the pins have pulse width modulation, and that comes in handy for things such as controlling the speed of the motor. So I have two motors on my chip, and so it works with a motor module, but essentially what I do is I have some pins that are connected to one motor, some to the other, and one of those pins controls the direction of the motor that it's turning, and one controls the speed. And for the speed, I really want to have variable output so that I can basically control how fast the car is going to go in a certain direction. All right, so in essence, the microchips are input-output devices, so they receive inputs and they have outputs, and it all happens through the pins, and you can do some pretty cool stuff with that. They're super cheap, like the one I bought, the ESP32, it only cost around $8, and it has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built in, which is incredible. and they're very small, so they're easy to put in discrete locations for the projects that you're doing. These are a couple examples of projects you could do. Like on the left, there's a drone. On the right, there's a car. Just pretty cool stuff. Or you could do stuff like build some kind of radar thing or a piano player. Just all kinds of different possibilities. So I guess one thing I would say, just try it out. You're not going to regret it.